Craven Wings Full-Court Press. He's Rob Lewis. I am Eric Kane. Tennessee, a 77-68 win over Vanderbilt late here on a Tuesday night. Rob, it wasn't the strongest defensive showing from Tennessee in the first half, but a strong second half put away the Commodores for the 11th straight win in this series.
Yeah, it was a weird first half, Eric. I mean, Tennessee shot over 50% from the field, yet they were down by 2 at halftime. And, there were a couple of reasons for that. Vandy didn't shoot it great, but they were 5 of 13 from downtown. And the real anomaly was they turned 6 offensive rebounds into 13 second chance points. I mean, they were basically perfect every time, they got a second chance at a possession. And Tennessee really shut that off in the second half. Vanderbilt was 1 of 14 from three-point range, shot just 33% from the floor. Not a great performance by any stretch of the imagination, but Tennessee's 4-0 in league play, and there are a lot of teams out there that would switch places with them right now. Looking at you, Cats.
Yeah, no doubt. Kentucky coming into town on Saturday. We'll get to that in a moment. Tennessee 14-2, 4-0 in SEC play. And something I really liked in this game, Julian Phillips on the offensive end. He started to look a little bit better here of late. He was aggressive. He and Santiago Vescovi almost had identical stat lines of 15 points, 6 of 9 shooting, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. What did you like from Julian Phillips here tonight?
I felt like he was aggressive, Eric. He settled for 1-3 early, didn't make it, didn't let that affect him. Put the ball on the floor, got into the paint, took contact, was creative and athletic, finished around the rim. Just felt like he was more assertive tonight than we've seen him. I'm pretty sure this is right. Just the second time he's been in double digits in Tennessee's last 11 or 7 games after he was pretty much averaging 12 points or 12, 13 points through most of November, early December. So, Coach Barnes talked a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, about he felt like maybe Julian was hitting a wall a little bit. Tonight, it looked like he broke through.
I think at points in times in the first half, too, Uros Plavsic on the offensive end kind of helped Tennessee out a little bit. It looked like he had a nice little game, something to maybe build on offensively moving forward.
I don't know about build on it, EC, but if he could do that consistently, it'd be a great move for Tennessee. I thought Uros was – I thought what he did great tonight, and what he's done, pretty consistently lately. Didn't get out of his comfort zone, didn't get out of his lane. Back guys down, took shots point blank at the rim. Was pretty strong with the basketball, except for one occasion when I can remember where he could have done a better job finishing. Had 6 rebounds, which may not sound like much for a 7'1" guy, but that's not a guarantee for Uros every night out. And I thought he was strong. And just played 15 minutes, 11 points, was very productive.
Tennessee held Vanderbilt to no field goals the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds of game action, end up winning by a score of 77-68. And as you mentioned earlier, you have Kentucky coming to town. Kentucky has lost 2 straight, and they lost to South Carolina at home tonight. I don't expect this place, this environment, to treat it like anything different. It's still Kentucky coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, you never want to take anything for granted, especially against a talented opponent. And Kentucky has a lot of problems. Talent is not one of them, but man, they look dysfunctional. They look poorly coached, and those are 2 things that this Tennessee team is definitely not right now.
Rob, anything else here tonight from a 77-68 win over Vanderbilt?
I just, I thought, nothing really just blew my mind, but what impressed me about them is they did not play great at all in the first half and just didn't let it affect them. Came out in the second half, immediately took control with a 9-2 spurt. Didn't play tight because they were letting a big underdog hang around, and just took care of business on a night when I would say they didn't really have their A game.
Tennessee might not have had their A game, but they got the victory, 77-68 over Vanderbilt, improving to 14-2 and 4-0 in SEC play. This is your Craven Wings Full Court Press. He's Rob Lewis, and I am Eric Kane.